group of APC stakeholders from the North Central geopolitical zone has warned the President-elect Bola Tinubu to be fair and just to the zone if he wants his administration to succeed. At a media briefing to voice out their disappointment over the purported decision of the APC-NWC regarding the speakership seat, which is said to have been zoned to the Northwest, the group says if the media reports about the decision were anything to go by, then the party would have shown disdain and ingratitude to the region. Well, they claim that the zone did more than any other geopolitical zone in the north to improve the electoral fortunes of the APC at the just concluded polls.
However, the coalition of northern groups, CNG, has distanced itself from reports that it endorsed the former governor of Akwa Ibom State, Senator Godswill Akpabio, for the Senate president. In a statement signed by the spokesman of CNG, Abdulaziz Suleiman, the reported endorsement of Godswill Akpabio for the Senate president was done by a certain group that impersonated as coalition of northern groups. The CNG says it will reject any attempts from any quarters to associate the group or any of its members with the candidature of any person or with any regional agitation for any National Assembly position. Abdulaziz says the CNG is committed to its deal and ideal of protecting and promoting the interests of the North and Northerners without unnecessarily being partisan, and condemned the impersonation of its group by mischievous persons.
And as the day, of course, counts down to the inauguration of the 10th Assembly, different regions are desperate to have the Speaker zoned to their area. Well, let's now have in these discussions Honorable Idris Yahuza Yakubu, who is a former member of the House of Representatives and one of the people conversing for the North Central Zone. And also joining him tonight is in our offsite studio, we do have Reverend Dominic Alancha, who is the convener of the North Central APC Young Stakeholders. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us tonight on the program. And of course, let me start with you, Idris Yahuza Yakubu. You are actually conversing for a particular geopolitical zone, the North Central, if I'm correct. Talk to me why you believe the North Central deserves to produce the next Speaker of the House of Representatives.
Well, let me clarify certain issues. Our press conference today was on the basis of the rumor that the NWC of the APC and other stakeholders, including the President-elect, have endorsed the South-South for Senate President and the Deputy Senate President from the Northwest, and also the Speaker for the Northwest. And we feel that will not encourage inclusion. And we canvassed some of the positions we have raised, which is that in the North, in terms of percentage voting, the North Central came first actually after the Southwest in the whole country. We had 41% of the votes for the APC, and the Northwest had 39. So if it's in terms of performance, and meanwhile, there is a tradition for the last 24 years in the National Assembly that the major principal officers are zoned to regions where the two main people in the executive arm, which is the president and the vice president, come from. They are different from those ones. Of course, there are aberrations during Tambuwal's surprise contest and challenge of Right Honorable Mulikat, and that of Dogara and the Bajabiamila then, and the first term of the APC government. So that's the context in which we are arguing that the North Central, in terms of its performance and in terms of competence and character of the some of the ranking members in the National Assembly that are presently there, we deserve the speakership of the National House of Representatives.
Okay, well said. Thank you for your insight. But then one would say that the North Central has had the Senate presidency twice, David Mark and Bukola Saraki. Whereas in the House of Representatives, we've never had a speaker from the North Central. So if you're agitating for a speaker of the House of Reps from the North Central, majority will understand. But then after having it twice and then having the South-South, who has never had it once, wouldn't you think it's just unfair to zone it to them?
South-South? Well, we for us, the Senate President has been zoned to the South-South. That's the rumor we are hearing.
It's a rumor, right?
Of course. And in the context of politics, if you don't take it in your stride, then before you know it, you are done with. So we must take it up as it is and voice out our grievances. The same Northwest, which were said to be zoned the Deputy Senate President and the speakership, had speakership for 12 years. So if you should come to the North Central, I think we're only being fair. The Northeast had already gotten it through Dogara.
Okay. So you're talking about fairness and looking at the numbers and what you delivered, speaking about the North Central to the ruling All Progressives Congress. Let me bring in Reverend Alancha, who's in our offsite studio right now, into the conversation. Yes, you are the convener of the North Central APC Young Stakeholders. Well, we have heard from Honorable Yakubu, who says, you know what, you delivered more than any geopolitical zone and you deserve it. But the argument right now is that, you know, as it stands, even from the 7 front runners, there are even 2 people from the North Central. I'm looking about Garidi Yusuf and even the former deputy speaker, speaking about Wase. Both of them have thrown their hats into the ring. So I would ask you directly, do you have a particular candidate that you're pushing for, or you're just saying zone it to us, just like the Southeast is demanding with our previous guest, and would work it out and decide who would pick?
Yes, thank you so very much. We have a particular candidate we are pushing for, despite the fact that we are demanding for zoning. And like the Honorable in the studio there have rightly said, the North Central has been flipping APC since 2015. And we've not have anything substantial for, you know, our loyalty, our commitment to the party. Some people have been arguing that the national chairman is domiciled in the North Central. And I said, yes, he's domiciled in the North Central, but that is a party position, you know, and there are other party positions also that have been zoned to other regions. So we are saying that the North Central is deserving of the Speaker of the House of Representatives. And if you come to the North Central, there is a man who is a man of competence, experience, and character, who is Right Honorable Ahmed Idris was the current Deputy Speaker. He is best fit for this job in terms of moving this country forward, in terms of his legislative experience. There is no any other person that can do it like him. So we frown against the idea, this purported zoning that the NWC, not even the NWC, we heard that the NWC will be meeting tomorrow to look at the zoning. It's a proposal. But if we don't rise now, if we don't speak against it, this proposal may come to stay. We're a region that do not even, we in the Northwest, we did not win Sokoto, we did not win Kano, we did not win Katsina, we did not win Kaduna, we did not win which other state? Zamfara. In North Central, we won Benue, we won Kogi, we won Nasarawa, we won Kwara, we won Niger. We deliver APC 100%. And I make bold to say, it is the APC's vote from the North Central region that delivered the victory to Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So we are calling for fairness and justice. Recall, a year ago, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the national chairman, presented a candidate, as a consensus candidate in person of Senate President Ahmed Lawal as the party's consensus candidate, Nigerians rose in his support to say that no, this is not fair. Not cannot take back the power again after the tenure of President Muhammadu Buhari. The South deserved it. We all queue behind him, delegate all queue behind him. He emerged as our presidential flag bearer, and now the same scenario is about to repeat. We expect that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu will rise to the occasion and defend, what he represents, what he stands for. Asiwaju represents justice, he represents freedom. That is what the logo on the cap that he's wearing symbolizes. That is the symbol of justice. So the North Central cannot be totally excluded from the leadership position of the 10th Assembly. We deserve to be the Speaker. The Northwest have the Deputy Senate President, and the South-South have the Senate President, and that is the expectations of Nigerians. Nigerians are happy with that. But for this one, this Speaker that they are trying to take, I think it will be robbery on our part. And we are calling on our leaders to rise to the occasion. Our governors should rise and speak for the region. North Central cannot be excluded from the leadership in this administration, because it is very critical to the progress of Nigeria. Asiwaju's manifesto speaks about industrialization.
Industrialization. Dominic.
Absolutely.
Let me jump in right there, Dominic. Sorry to cut it. Let me jump in right there. We understand the role the North Central played in the general elections, but is it beginning to look like some form of entitlement or reward if you are demanding that the Senate presidency be zoned to your region just because you brought in the votes?
The country today is as a situation where every region needs to have a sense of belonging. The Northwest, the South, the Northeast, the North Central, the Southeast, the South-South, and the Southwest. Every region have to have a sense of belonging because of the situation we have found ourselves today. The agitations you are hearing here and there is as a result of perceived feeling of marginalization, and exclusion from the government, from the scheme of things. So we are saying, because the North Central have been flipping APC, of course, if we flip APC, we have been supportive of APC, we have, we deserve something from the party. And what we are saying, if all the regions have been taken care of, why taking two principal positions to one region, excluding the other region, leaving them with nothing? That is what we are frowning against. This does not reflect the principles of equity, the principles of fairness and justice. We are saying that this party, the APC, represents a just party. Is the principle of equity and fairness should be at play. It should be one of the top considerations when sharing some of this position to vote those various regions. But above all, Ahmed Idris Wase have the competence, the character, the experience to lead the 10th House of Assembly in advancing governance in terms of legislation, in terms of oversight and other issues that, may come to his table.
Well, the Reverend is actually conversing for Wase. Of course, he is the current Deputy Speaker. But let me bring in Honorable Yakubu here. Well, all of this call for it to be zoned to the North Central. One wonders, the national chairman of your party is also from the region, which some would say is quite critical, if you look at, the rankings of the party. So let's talk again why you think the North Central should produce the Speaker, and also marry that with the fact that the opposition has the highest number. Are you envisaging a situation where the APC, even though they decide not to zone the speakership to the North Central, are you envisaging that the opposition will be able to galvanize them to come to your side and get you the speakership that you feel like you deserve?
Well, as far as we are concerned, politics is about engagement and negotiation. We have heard what the party is saying they are going to do, and that's why we're engaging them. We're canvassing for our position as stakeholders in the zone. And as far as we are concerned, we have a national chairman, yes, but that's a party position. The president-elect and the vice president-elect are elected in the executive arm of government, We are not talking of the National Assembly, which is a different ambit completely. And in that position, we expect that the party should be all-inclusive in terms of the positions they are going to allocate to its people who have done very well in the elections. And we have very experienced people, like the Reverend had said. We have the Deputy Speaker now. And then let's have an institutional memory there. He has been a Deputy Speaker in the last 4 years. If he goes in there, the Senate President is no more there going to be the Senate President. The Deputy Senate President will no more be the Deputy Senate President. The Speaker will no more be the Speaker of the House of Representatives. So who will serve as the institutional memory of the 10th Assembly if we don't have somebody who has been there, who will remind them of what has happened here and there, and who has actually the capacity to lead? I think that if the party is serious of having some sense of continuity, I think that is what exclusively that position should be reserved for Ahmed Idris.
Well, we'll see where both your loyalties lie, but at the end
Dominic,
of the day, it's up to
well, you
the
ask the question, and I needed to be clarified.
Absolutely.
And I have given my reasons, which are very germane, and facts that we cannot do away with.
Well, gentlemen, we have to say thank you so much for joining us tonight on the program. Honorable Idris Yahuza Yakubu, as well as Reverend Dominic Alancha, of course. Thank you for joining us tonight on the program.
Thank you very much.